touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah. And his first carry, he loses the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson, and it's caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Wilson, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Wilson operating from the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. Wilson will throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jacob Hollister in the final seconds of the first half as they are able to cut into that lead. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. Boy, still a half-plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 40. He will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will take us to the end of the first. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Barkley with a carry on 1st down, and he'll get about 4. So 2nd and 6 forthcoming.
Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic 1st down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, 39 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes this a 9-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get it.
And he loses the football a second time.
Keep playing.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. This is Carson. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Safety screaming. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He'll get 11 yards back on the scramble as it brings up 2nd down.
Check, 47. We want this.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson flush to his right. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Third and 2, now Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Now it's Wilson, and that is caught for the 2 points. Around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Giants. Ingram, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved little oxygen if he wants.
On the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They run again with Carson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On second down, here's Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll try and run it, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Escaping the pressure right. And now touchdown, Seahawks.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board, right?
Now Barkley stripped of the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Again, it's Barkley. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
He's checking.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 39 yards. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Here we go.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
14.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10, flushed out right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it.
Do you have one of those charts that tells you to go for 2 or go for 1?
I don't. I know you do, but I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally, because somewhere the chart's something's going to pop out of the chart and say, hey, man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the 4th quarter. Now they still trail by 1. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those.
Now Barkley stripped of the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did they say in the beginning?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. He's back to throw. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So now Jones and the Giants down by 7. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Barkley. They're spinning now. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Barkley on 1st down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
About that.
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Here we go. 30 base. Hey, nice 7. Good. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. He don't know no better.
Back to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Check 50. Hey, echo. Yep. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Here it comes. Ready.
Back to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now a desperation throw. A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Delano Hill. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Coming to... The line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. He's going to take off with it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Throwing now is Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout.